Hello friends, my name is Ravi Tamakwala and I am going to give a brief summary for the book How to Start Conversation and Make Friends. Uh, the book's author is Don Geber. Let us start with introduction. Conversation is our main way of expressing our ideas, opinions, goals, and feelings to those we come into contact with. It is also the primary means of beginning and establishing friendships and relationships. This book will show you how to turn on your conversational channel and tune in to people you meet. You can learn to communicate and use new skills. The goal of conversation is to connect with people and the world around us. Let us start with chapter 1. Be receptive body language. Research has shown that over 70% of communication is non-verbal. Most poor conversationalists don't realize that the non-receptive body language, say for example close posture, little eye contact, and no smiling, is often the cause of short and unsustained conversations. The following softening techniques can make your first impressions work for you. Here, S for smile. A smile shows you are friendly and open to communication. O for open posture. Open posture, I am receptive and available for contact. To overcome habitual way of standing or sitting, start by keeping your hands away from your mouth and keeps your arms uncrossed. F for forward lean. Leaning forward says, I am interested in what you are saying. T for touch. A friendly handshake coupled with a smile and a warm hello is an easy, acceptable form of touch when meeting someone for the first time. E for eye contact. Eye contact shows that you are listening and taking an interest in what is being said. And for nod, a nod of the head shows you are listening and understand what is being said. Starting conversations naturally. There are 5 basic steps in starting conversations. First is risk versus rejection. Be the first to say hello. Ask easy to answer questions about the situations or the other person. There are two types of ritual questions, close-ended and open-ended. Close-ended questions are that which have answer in a single or two word, and open-ended questions are that for which the person has to explain in detail. Remember to follow close questions with open-ended questions. Then know what to say next by listening carefully for free information. That is active listening. Here you can concentrate on listening, and while listening don't think. You may use examples to put your point, and you can anticipate and what is next being told, and at the end you may summarize what is being uh, discussed. In fact, merge old knowledge with new information. You may listen for iceberg statements also, which have hints about topics that the person really wants to talk about if he thinks you might be interested. Further, seek information. Ask information seeking follow up questions based on free information you have just heard. Be careful about talking about negativity, say for example, that gory crimes, unhappy events, personal gossip, or racial or ethnic slurs, because this will create a negative image of yours on that person, and it may last long, and you don't want to create negative image of yours. Then self disclosure. Reveal plenty of your free information while asking questions that may interest you personally. Next is keeping the conversation going. Here, first focus on the situation you are in. While doing this, look outward, not inward. That means look in the environment you are in, and you will get lots of topics. In fact, your situation is really a series of concentric circles. You can extend your conversation from the things around you and extend to the next immediate environment, and go on and go on. Then find out about the big events in the other person's life. These are called hot buttons, and the person is really interested to talk about these points. Then balance the two-way information exchange. Good conversation is a balance of talking and listening. Discuss topics that are important to you. It's essential to let others know what you consider important and meaningful. Change topics using free information. When you sense a certain topic has been talked out, then change the subject by referring to some free information revealed earlier or offer some new information of your own. Then seek out common interest and experiences. If you don't let the other person know that you relate to several details of his conversation, then you lose many areas of fruitful conversation. Next is getting your ideas across. Here, there are several reasons for not getting your ideas across, which includes resistance to change, wishful hearing, unwarranted assumptions, etc. You can tell partner reason or purpose of your conversation, which create trust in you and feel him more comfortable. Further, to gain people's cooperation and receptivity, develop respect for others. For that, you may ask someone's opinion and, in fact, don't ignore people's feeling. They take a care you should take. And explore even comments seems irrelevant, uh, which gives you idea you feel they are irrelevant but have some points for discussion. Next is closing conversations naturally. Here, how to close your conversation naturally in a positive way. Here, always attempt to end the exchange on a friendly note. This lets the other participants feel good about the exchange. Briefly summarize the ideas discussed. Use other person's name and a compliment, such as "It's been great talking with you," and then say goodbye with a handshake. Attempt to meet the person again for a specific activity at a time not too far into the future, say a week or so. Also, say, "I am looking forward to seeing you again." Express your partner you enjoyed the conversation. Keep your goodbye short and sweet, and most of all, warm and friendly. Remembering names is most important part of your conversation skill. People feel special when you remember their names. Most people forget the names within 5 seconds of introduction because you are distracted, or you may be excited or anxious or full of self doubt or defensive. You are defensive. To remember the names, don't think, only listen so you can concentrate what is being told. If can't get the names, ask the person to repeat the same. Still you can't get the names, you may ask him to spell the name so you'll get exact name of the person. In this topic, several tips mentioned to remember persons names you meet, and they are mentioned in detail in the book. Here has been discussed improving conversations. There are several points that here we have mentioned. Use encouragement and positive feedback. Don't criticize. In fact, not sandwich constructive criticism and positive comment together into the same sentence. It's better to give praise where it is due and acknowledge the effort required to complete the task. It's also important to deal with put downs. To deal with put downs, you should have humor up and defense down. You should down your defense and uh, make some humor. Put downs can be a test of your self confidence. Sometimes people put other people down to see how they react under fire. If you laugh at yourself and don't take the put downs too seriously, then the other person will assume you are self confident and secure. It's also important to find the reason for the put down the other person is making. For that, you may ask for open-ended questions to that person. Sometimes you will find his answer may be really useful to you. This will opens up the communication channels and hopefully ventilates some of the anger and frustration that causes people to put one another down. The best way to get what you want is to ask for it directly. If you want something from someone, make a request directly and clearly because people don't read your mind. Conversational hangups. Here will show you which are conversational hangups. They are shown by that typical sentences. First, I am right, you are wrong, which shows others that your opinions is better. Next, I can read a person like a book. Draw quick conclusion about those you meet based on isolated statements or actions. Third is it doesn't matter to me. Always, which shows that always the person is always go out of your way to please others, and they will like and respect you. Stay out of the decision making process to show that you are a flexible person. Don't do your own thing because people may disapprove or become offended or upset. Fourth, tell me something I don't know, which shows being a know it all will impress the people you talk with. Fifth, I am boring, which shows don't talk because you don't have anything really interesting to you to say. Here, some tips to overcome conversational hangups, which we have seen earlier. First, don't assume that everything you know or believes absolutely true. There are many gray areas which can have scope of discussion. Next, it's good to be flexible but not indifferent. Express your preferences even if they might be contrary to your partner's. Most people are not mind readers, and unless you tell them they want no, let someone know what you want and he will be in a better position to give it to you, or they will say simply no. Don't passively accept anything. Involvement translates into interest, enthusiasm, and a desire to be with the other person. Don't respond to the world around you based on what will people think of me. Do your own thing. Saying I don't know is likely to make your partner respect you for your honesty. Don't put yourself down. Don't be overcritical of yourself. Focus on positive events in your life and talk about them. In this slide and the next slide, I have put some points to improve your conversation. These points are specifically picked from the book and put in these slides. And thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your time.